Sparkling water, the only way to do it. Let me sort this cable out. There we go. Good evening, good evening. What is going on? What is going on? What is happening, gents? Hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. I wanted to jump on here, man, just have a chat with you guys. And really what I wanted to talk about in today's live is this whole idea of competition, right? So many guys are afraid of pursuing something because it's competitive or it's saturated. I love that one. That's such a bullshit excuse. It's saturated. But Ali, I would do YouTube, but it's saturated. What that communicates to me is that you lack self-esteem. You don't believe in yourself enough. Because if you did, you wouldn't say, oh, it's saturated, Ali. Bullshit excuse. People need to believe more in themselves. People need to recognize their strengths a lot more. You need to not be somebody who is easily malleable by society, by friends and family. Some of you guys, you won't pursue something because one of your friends told you not to do it. And you're like, okay. And that's it. Now, look, some friends are genuinely looking out for you and they want what's best for you. But some of them are just secret haters, man. They don't want to see you go out there and potentially create something. So they'll tell you, nah, bro, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And you're like, all right, okay. And you don't do it. The fuck? I don't understand that. That means you never wanted it to begin with. If somebody says something to you, if somebody tells you not to pursue something, and they don't provide any valid reason, and I'm assuming, by the way, it's moral, legal, and ethical, okay? If they told you not to do it, and they didn't provide a good reason, either they're just terrified of risk, and most of the time that's for your family members. They're not haters, really. They're just afraid of you falling flat on your face and hurting yourself and losing money. But a lot of these so-called friends of yours will tell you not to do it because they know you'd fucking crush it. You'd do such a tremendous job. And they don't want to feel left behind, because they don't really want to go out there and work hard. So they don't want to see you go out there and work hard and reap the rewards and excel and become successful. So I'm just telling you, man, because a lot of these friends will disguise their cynicism and their hate as advice. Oh, I'm just looking out for you, bro. I'm just looking out for you. How many times have you heard that before? I'm sure all of us have that one friend who, no matter what you tell them that you want to pursue, always says don't do it. That person just knows how to crush a conversation, crush any enthusiasm. It's just negative to be around. I always encourage my friends to go out there and find out for themselves. As I said earlier, as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical, and no one's going to be harmed in the process, you're not cheating anybody out of anything, you're being honest, and you're carrying yourself with integrity and honor. As long as you're doing that, then go out there and try it, man. Find out for yourself. Don't be that guy that's like, well, I want some assurances, Ali. I want to be assured that this will work out. Then you're still naive. You still haven't processed the realities of life. You don't know before you start how successful you'll be. You've got to go out there and just attempt yourself, man. You've got to get some battle scars. It's okay. Because at least if you have battle scars, you have stories to share. You're not in the corner, wrapped in bubble wrap, safe and secure. I mean, what kind of a life is that? Look at it from this perspective. Even if it's not a fruitful opportunity, financially speaking, you still have a story to share. And you become a more interesting person. So, man, pursue it. We're already fucking halfway through February. Time flies, man. Some of you guys are still sitting on an idea. You're like, well, I'm still debating it with myself, Ali. I'm still not sure whether or not. Let me tell you something right now. Quit. Leave the work for the serious folks. You can sit down, grab yourself some popcorn, and watch this person live their dream. Retire their parents, travel around the world. But don't you dare be envious. Don't you dare sit there on the corner hating. If you want to watch, sit there and watch and be entertained, but don't you dare be envious because you weren't willing to do the work. There's a saying, don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work that you didn't do. Man, I'm spitting some facts today. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. I've met guys like this. It's like, how entitled are you to feel like you deserve the rewards, but you didn't do shit? You didn't put any work in. How entitled are you? It's crazy. Man, do not look at struggle in a negative way. Struggle changes you. And without struggle, the victory won't taste as sweet. As they say, right? The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. When you've struggled and struggled and struggled for such a long period of time, and then you get it, boy, oh boy, is that priceless. And you know what? If you did struggle for it, you'll appreciate it a lot more as well. Folks that just blow their money straight away, and there was no character development for them. That's why it's dangerous when you win straight away, because you didn't struggle, so you don't know how to process it. Well, Kenny, there's a few different ways you could say it. But man, embrace the struggle. Embrace the struggle. It's insane how quick time is going. It really is. And as much as it's important to be patient, and I preach patience all the time, you've got to be moving with such speed, as well as being patient. Both have to exist. Well, those experiences have an effect on you. Unfortunately, for many men, the hardship that they go through, they don't learn from. I mean, there's a saying, right? You grow through what you go through. But you have to learn how to process the pain, recycle it, harness the energy from it to improve yourself. If you don't get wiser, stronger, and better from a difficult circumstance, then you've wasted that learning lesson, that opportunity. You've wasted it. You know, 2 words, very simple. Take advantage. That's something when I look back at my late teens, early 20s, I didn't do. I mean, I was young and, you know, it could have made a lot of excuses for me, but I didn't take advantage of the pain that I went through, the uncertainty, the discomfort. I was just angry with it. Why me? Why me? Just moaning about it. But I didn't take advantage. That's exactly it, brother. You got to confront yourself. And that's something many men aren't willing to do. They're not willing to confront themselves. They're not willing to look inwards and address their shortcomings. They want to live in this delusion. No, I'm perfect. It's everyone else's fault. I'm doing a good job. Everyone else is to blame. They don't want to say to themselves that, you know what? I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I need to take accountability. They don't want to do that. They want to point the finger. It's your fault. If you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have been in this situation. If he helped me, then I wouldn't have. You've got to take accountability. If you're lacking seriously in an area, you need to acknowledge that. I've always said it. Self-awareness is the first step to change. If you are unaware that a problem exists, you cannot address it. So you need to become aware. How do you become aware? Well, you've got to sit down by yourself with a pen and a piece of paper and just think. Think about what you're unsatisfied about. Most people don't think. They don't pause. They don't sit down and think. They're just scrolling through their phones. They're going to work, coming back home, hitting the gym, watching a movie. They're not taking the time to just sit down and think, what the fuck am I messing up in my life? And that's scary because time passes very quickly. And if you're unaware that you're messing up in a major way in your personal relationships, in your finances, whatever it is, if you're not identifying that, you could go for years and years and years making the same mistake. And what a shame that is, because it didn't have to be that way. It really didn't. You don't need to prolong the struggle. You know, Jim Rohn used to say, if you've messed up for a year, we suggest that's long enough. You don't need to go out there and prove a point. No. You don't have to make the same mistake year after year. Come on now. 1 year is enough. Learn from it and move forward. And you know what? I'll add another thing. Don't be held hostage by the past. Learn from it, but don't be held hostage by it. Yes, it's normal to look back at a time in your life and think, man, what the fuck was I doing? Whether it was how you acted in a previous relationship or a stupid financial decision that you made, it's very normal to look back and think, man, what the fuck was I doing, man? This is stupid. Why did I do that? But you've got to learn from it, man. Learn from it and forgive yourself. You did the best thing that you thought was right in the moment. Now, hindsight always tells a different picture, right? If you knew better, you would have done better. A lot of the times, you just acted in the way that you thought was best. And sometimes you have to learn by making a mistake yourself. People can advise you. When I was young, man, when I was 19, 20, 21, I was stupid with money. Man, I got a credit card. I hit my limits on it quick. I didn't pay it back on time. I was an idiot with money. I really was. And I put myself in a bad situation. If I could go back in time, would I change things? Absolutely. But I can't go back in time. So I had to learn the hard way, right? So learn from the past, but don't live there. Otherwise, it will paralyze you. It will prevent you from creating a more prosperous future. Forex trading is stressing me out. I'm looking into your course. Hope you can explain things properly. Well, you've got to identify what's stressing you out, brother. If you're stressed, you're approaching it the wrong way. It's going well, brother. Alhamdulillah. Like the video, guys. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it, bro. Welcome, gents. Man, psychology has a lot to do with success. It really does. We often look at someone, for example, who is a competent trader and think, this guy must be so intelligent. Far from it. Believe me, a lot of my trader friends that are doing really well, they're not extremely intellectual individuals. No, a lot of these guys got shit grades in A levels. I got shit grades in A levels, C and 2Ds. So if you're thinking, man, you got to be so smart to do this trading thing, you really don't. However, you've got to get your emotions in check, your trading psychology. You need to you need to make sure you get a grip on your mind. Otherwise, it will sabotage your success. There's a great book on that called Trading in the Zone, which I reference in my course. Right? Exactly, brother. Exactly. Some people get lucky in forex trading, doesn't necessarily. Well, you can get lucky once or twice, but to be lucky consistently, I mean, there's merit to their success. You can't be lucky for 6 months, a year in a row of trading consistently multiple times a week. You can get a lucky trade, but believe me, because it's easy for someone to say, oh, this guy is lucky. But if this person is consistent over a sustained period of time, that's not luck. What does dressing classy do to a man's view of himself? Very, very good question, Ethan. Very good question. I've always believed that your image is something that you must take extremely seriously. And I understood why after my first job working for a clothing company, a suit company called Charles Tyrrell, British-based company. I walked into that job having no understanding of menswear, how important it is to combine colors effectively, the manufacturing process of blazers and trousers, and whether a jacket is structured, unstructured. I had no understanding of men's clothing. I walked into that training the first week wearing my dad's blazer, because I didn't have a suit at that time, and some baggy trousers. I think it was my dad's suit, in fact. So I wore my dad's blazer and his trousers. But I think the trousers were for a different suit. So the color wasn't coordinated effectively, and it was so baggy. I remember the trainer that I had, I believe his name was Barry. Man, he laughed. He laughed at me in a, not in a condescending way, but to teach me. And I'm not the kind of guy to get offended, right? So I had a good time laughing as well. He said, come on, man, you can't be wearing a parachute, right? Because the trousers were so baggy that when I was standing outside in the wind, they were just flapping everywhere, right? I mean, it was just a sight to behold, put it this way, right? But I learned a lot about suits at that time. And I just fell in love with them, man. I fell in love with them. I had a nice company discount at the time. I believe it was 50%. So I bought myself a couple of suits. And man, ever since, I was a changed man. And you know what? Maybe I take it to an extreme. I wear suits pretty much every day. There is an occasional day where I wear a leather jacket and some jeans because, I think that's a nice slick look as well. But I pretty much wear suits daily. You won't catch me in tracksuits. If you do, that's not me, bro. That's someone else. So I take the whole suited and booted thing seriously. And my fragrances, I'm a fragrance fanatic. I've got my niche fragrances, my mid-range fragrances, right? And I've got about 20 at the moment, and I'm going through them, gradually. So some I've had for over a year, and I haven't even used like 10% of them, right? But I take it seriously. And you know what? People always tell me, Ali, but surely, you'll get uncomfortable. These people don't understand clothing. They don't understand how you can make clothing comfortable to wear. You get what you pay for. Now, if you're buying a suit from Next, for example, in the UK, or Walmart or whatever, I don't know if Walmart sells suits in the US. Maybe they do. Or Costco, whatever, right? I mean, you get what you pay for. Those fused suits, because the jackets are fused together, so it doesn't feel comfortable around your torso. They're annoying to wear. I understand that, right? But let me give you a golden nugget right now. eBay. Now you might be thinking, eBay? The fuck? Why would I go on eBay to buy clothing? Believe me, people buy new clothes all the time. Maybe they buy it just for one day and then they lost the receipt. They couldn't return it to the store. So they'll sell a nice $400 suit on eBay for like $150. It's just something to explore. And you can look at the seller and you can see, is this a respected seller, genuine seller? Have they sold, other things before? There are people that strictly sell clothes on eBay, right? So if you're tight on money, you can look at eBay as an option. There's another app as well called Depop, but eBay I think is the most versatile. You can find nice vintage clothing on there, right? So you don't have to spend $1,000. I don't want to hear that excuse. I don't want to hear it. You can spend $80, $100, and you can gradually grow your wardrobe. It doesn't have to be done straight away. You don't have to go from having no suits to 8 suits in the first month. I mean, that's going to cost you a lot of money, even if you're buying stuff from eBay, right? So take it one step at a time. With every paycheck, buy something small. The first suit I would recommend to any one of you is the navy suit, right? The navy color. Single-breasted, because it's more versatile. I'm a double-breasted guy, though. When it comes to my blazers, I like them double-breasted, which means they overlap. And there's 6 buttons on this one, right? I think it just looks nice. And I like my lapels. These are called lapels, right? I like my lapels wide. Some suits will have like really narrow lapels like this, for example, right? For me, that doesn't bring out the chest very well. So when it's a wider lapel like this, you see how it almost looks like I'm wearing armor. Like I just find it a much better look. So going back to your point, Ethan, it's very important to take yourself very seriously when it comes to the way that you present yourself, because you feel good when you do so. And every man should look at a suit and think, you know what? I want to look good in a suit. Because it's timeless. One character every guy aspires to be like is James Bond, right? James Bond is a slick guy, Aston Martin, nice shades, right? We'll work on the Aston Martin later, but you can dress well now. And I know his suits are made by bespoke tailors and Savile Row, but you can start with much, much cheaper alternatives. Right? And then work your way up. Remember, when you feel good, you do good. When you dress well, when you feel good about what you wear, you carry yourself differently. When I wear a nice suit and I apply some nice fragrance, and I feel good. And then people compliment me naturally during the day. Man, that's a nice color suit. Man, what fragrance are you wearing, man? It's amazing. And I'm always like, yeah. I walk past then and someone just turns around real quick like, damn, what's that smell? It smells amazing. Well, don't want to give them my secrets away. I don't want to tell you what fragrance that is. What's that one Drake lyric? Oh, man, I can't remember, man. There's one lyric about fragrance in one of his songs. Do I have OCD? I wouldn't say so now. I'm not one of those guys that gets frustrated if his keyboard isn't perfectly straight or anything like that. Nah. I like my room and my environment to be clean. Hygiene is very important to me. But I'm not one of those guys that will walk up the stairs twice because the first time he walked up the stairs, he didn't quite align his feet. Nah, that's not me, bro. Hi, Annie. Have you ever suffered from tonsil stones? Nah. But I know what tonsil stones are. It's when dirt and shit builds up at the back, right, of your mouth. Yeah, if you have that problem, you need to get it checked out quickly because it makes your breath disgusting. There is an abundance of everything in life, so wouldn't there be an abundance of competition too? Let me address that point. Good question. Just because there's a lot of people doing something, it doesn't mean they're doing it effectively. going to say that one more time. Just because there's a lot of people doing something, it doesn't mean they're doing it effectively. You know, with the whole YouTube thing, for example, one question that I got early on is, Ali, there's quite a lot of people making self-improvement videos. Don't you think it's saturated? Don't you think it's a waste of time for you to do it? That's a valid question. But I responded by saying that I am unique. My uniqueness is my competitive advantage. I've had a certain life, a certain set of circumstances that have shaped me into the man that I am today. And I'm still evolving, but my unique set of circumstances have molded someone unique. So I'm not like the other guys. Yes, there might be some crossover in terms of the advice that I share compared with other people. There's going to be some certain things that are similar in what we say. But I don't, for example, know another guy who wears suits every day, likes exactly the same things I like, and is an identical version of me. I don't know someone like that. Now, there's going to be guys that like suits and classic cars and fragrances and stuff like that. But it's very rare that I come across somebody like this. So I believe in my own uniqueness. I believe in my own experiences. And everything that I talk about from either personal experiences or from the people that I've learned from. Okay? Guys, I have a promotion that I'm about to release today when it comes to my trading course. The next 3 individuals that purchase the course will receive 2 hours of free coaching with me. So you'll receive the course and also 2 hours of personal one-to-one coaching on anything that you want to speak to me about as well, whether it's relationships, whether it's trading related, whether it's clothing related. So that's going to be running for the next probably 72 hours, that promotion. Ali, today I realized that people don't give a fuck about you because I was popular on my Facebook. I was gone for a month, and when I came back, I didn't find a single message. Well, that is a harsh reality. I mean, when we die, we will be talked about for a few days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then life will resume, and people are going to forget about you. It's just the reality of life. So it's 997 in pounds, brother. So I don't know what that is in dollars at the moment due to the exchange rate. Probably 1,200, something like that. How do I stop being addicted in watching self-help videos and can't take action? You need to get your head out your asshole, because up your asshole is dark. You can't see shit, right? No, but for real, you need to take the first step. A lot of you guys just sat there twiddling your fingers thinking, right, like Mr. Burns, right? But not as rich as Mr. Burns, right? You're like, I really want to do this thing, man. I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I need to do it. I know I have to do it. Just fucking make a decision. Get skin in the game. This is one thing that gets me, maybe I'm different to you guys, but one thing that gets me going is when I make a significant investment, right? It forces me to now have to step it up. For example, the armchairs that I bought for the podcast, they cost a lot of money. I got them specifically handmade from Italy. And I could have bought some $50 armchairs off eBay, but I wanted to take it seriously. I wanted to feel like this is my future. This is my studio. And thankfully, every person that's come into the studio has said, Ali, this is next level. You are professional. You're not messing about with this thing. I could have hired some shitty little studio, $50 at a time, sat on some IKEA chairs. I didn't want that experience for my guests. I want them to come in and think, you know what? Mr. Ben-Hariz doesn't play. When I bought my computer, my MacBook Pro, I didn't want to get a MacBook Pro for $500 that does the job. And then, no, I wanted to have skin in the game. I take Ali Ben-Hariz very seriously. So I'm not going to mess about when it comes to me. I don't want to be cheap and be a tire kicker when it comes to my future. No, I'm not telling you to be reckless, but have skin in the game. Force yourself to have to do this. I have bought a course and I'm studying the course. I'm working on the skills. I have no job, and my friends get onto me for not having a job, and I realize that the money will take time. Well, this is the thing, fellas. Just because you buy a course, it doesn't mean your life will miraculously change overnight. The course is a step in the right direction because information changes situations. Where you are right now, financially speaking, in terms of your circumstance, is a result of what you know. So to earn more, you need to learn more. But not just learn. Learning is good, but you got to apply. And I always have a practical approach when it comes to entrepreneurship. I've never liked those guys that will shit on jobs and say, oh man, a job is for brokies and a job is this and a job is that. You need a job to fund your dreams. If you have no money coming in, you're going to be stressed. You will be. I've been there. I quit the whole job thing early thinking, yeah, man, I'm going to be a CEO. Yeah. Man, that's not how it works. These guys on IG and, TikTok and stuff, they don't talk about the realities. You need a consistent source of income in order to make the purchases that you need in terms of courses, in terms of equipment for your channel, right? You need to take a practical approach. Eventually, when you get to a point where the money is from your side hustle is becoming more and more consistent and you've put some money aside, then maybe you can think about leaving the job. But you've got to take a practical approach. I've tried to follow you advice and putting yourself out there, bro. I just think friendships are based on value you offer people. Otherwise, I don't understand, brother. What do you mean putting yourself out there? As in introducing yourself to people? Hey, Ali, I have a question. We have a lot of videos targeting towards the younger age group, but how about moving forward and advancing? Eventually, we have to stop being a beginner. Well, I speak to a lot of younger folks because they overcomplicate shit. And there's so much noise. When you're 18 to 25, there's so many people that you're watching on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and they all have conflicting advice. All of your friends are pursuing different things, dropshipping, this, that, and you're just all over the place. You've got shiny object syndrome, and you keep comparing what you're doing with your friend. Oh, my friend's making more money doing dropshipping. Maybe I should do that. Oh, this guy's doing trading. Maybe I should do that. You're all over the place. So I tell you guys, essentially, fucking focus. Choose one thing. You're not missing out. I've got mechanic friends of mine that are making $6,000, $7,000 a month. Not really doing a sexy job. But they're making more money than some of my friends that have gone to university and studied for 5 or 6 years. Right? So you've got to lock in. Now, yes, there's an element of trying things out in your early 20s, right? You've got to find out what you like and what you don't like. But then you don't have to wait for something to be perfect. When for example, when I looked into trading, it wasn't something that stood out to me as necessarily this really sexy way of earning money and this. And no, I looked at it and I was like, this is really interesting. So the markets are traded in pairs. Okay, this is the trend. Okay. So you're telling me that's a candle. Okay, what's a candle mean? Okay, bullish, bearish. Okay. I was interested. I didn't wait for something to be incredibly fun and engaging. And no, if that's what you're looking for, then you're not living in reality. You're basically thinking in a video game-like manner. You want something to be so exciting and stimulating. That's not how entrepreneurship is. You've got to study something, master your craft. And remember that compensation is linked to value. going to say that again. Compensation, meaning how much you earn, is linked to your value when it comes to the value you're providing to the marketplace, not as a human being, right? Meaning the more valuable you become to the marketplace, the more you will be compensated, the more you will be paid. The better of a trader you will be, the more money you'll make trading. The better of a speaker you'll be, the more money you'll make speaking. The better products you design if you have a clothing business, and the better your understanding of the market and how to get attention around your product, the more money you'll make. In the beginning, you're crap. Everyone's crap in the beginning. I was as well. When it came to speaking, when it came to trading, I was shit in the beginning. Right? You've got to give yourself the time to get good at something. But this is the part where most guys mess up. They don't want to give themselves the time. They want things right now. And if I can't have it right now, I'm not going to continue. Those are people that have a poor relationship with time. When you have a poor relationship with time, you start self-sabotaging. Hi, Ali. What would you say is the fastest way to get to 2K a month online? Well, that's the thing. When you say online, it's quite vague because there's many different approaches. Do you want to be somebody who gets attention on his own personal brand? Do you want to be someone who sells products online? I don't like the word fastest as well because that hints at taking shortcuts to get there quickly. What I would tell you to do is approach it differently. So what is the most sustainable way, I would ask, to earn income online? And for me, my personal opinion is branding yourself well. Now, not everybody wants to be in front of camera and communicating, but learning how to market yourself is a very valuable skill. It really is. Because look, even when you're starting a clothing business, you need to know how to market your clothing business, how to get attention around it. But I would focus on learning a high income skill because the social media thing is not for everybody. Learn a high income skill. There's a few of those: coding, trading, even speaking is a high income skill, right? And give it time. Give it time. I'm not saying it's going to take you 7 years to start making money. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you're good, you can start earning really good money within about a year. But if you're coming into it thinking, I need money now, and if I don't get it now, then you're going to self-sabotage, as I said. Akala, a very famous rapper here in the UK, said, take shortcuts, get cut short. I want you to remember this. Take shortcuts, get cut short. Look, I don't know all of them, but there's quite a few. Remember, all you need to do is be interested. You don't need to love it, man. You don't love something the first time you find out about it, do you? You fall in love with it when you become competent, when you become really fucking good. Of course, you're not going to like something if you're shit at it, right? But you got to give yourself the time to get good at it. And when you start making really good money from it, well, guess what? You're going to be loving it. Okay? What are your thoughts on being a strong, competent man for your future family? Very important. And you know what? It starts way before you ever even get into a relationship. It's very important to bear this in mind, that when you improve yourself, you're improving yourself not just for the you right now so that you can live a good life right now, but for your future family. Your future wife wants a competent man, someone who isn't afraid of hardship, someone who is always looking to better himself in every aspect of his life. It's very important. She doesn't want to be with someone who's an emotional wreck, weak, terrified of leadership, despises women. That's not what she wants. And also remember, whenever you do something difficult, you're growing as a result of it. You're becoming better. Jim Rohn used to say, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skill. No, brother, I only trade currencies, specifically GBP USD. That's my wife, that is, right? But occasionally Euro USD is my thing on the side, right, as they say. But yeah. All right, fellas, remember the offer is live for the next 72 hours. If you purchase the trading course, you will receive 2 hours of one-to-one coaching with me. This is for the next 3 individuals only, and then I'm taking that offer down. So that offer is on alibenhariz.com. Or if you click on the link in my Instagram bio, I believe it's the 3rd or 2nd link down. Ali, does using LinkedIn create job opportunities? I mean, LinkedIn is great. I know there's a lot of corny people on there that post really corny shit. But I mean, if you use it effectively, it can open doors for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, gents, I'm going to head off. Thanks very much for jumping on today. Appreciate you. Remember the offer. It's only live for the next 72 hours. Appreciate you all. Have a fantastic Friday. And I might go live tomorrow. Again. We'll see. If not, I'll catch you next week. Appreciate you guys. Take care.